I recently flew from Seattle to Frankfurt on Condor Airlines A330-900 Neo for almost 10-hour flight on their business class cabin, but not just their regular business class. I got to experience the journey in their Prime Seat. More on that later. And before I take you on the flight with me, let's start with one of my favorite parts of traveling, going to the airport lounge. One of my favorite lounges in the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport is the American Express Centurion Lounge. It's always my elegant retreat from the airport chaos and has such great views of planes taking off and even the concourse. Since we're flying Condor in business class, you automatically have access to the Club at Sea. But if you've been to it, you know it doesn't compare, so I used my American Express Platinum benefits to enter and enjoy a couple of drinks and some food before getting on our flight. And even though we were gonna have a meal on the flight, I can't help but have the lounge ritual as part of my travel day, and I have no regrets, because not all the food on the flight hit the spot. More on that later. Time to embark on our trip. But first, the plane. I've got to talk about it. Condor is known for their fun, colorful planes. I was curious if we were going to get one of them, but this was the plane in the island color. Some people think it's boring, but personally, I don't care. I kind of like it. It feels calm. The boarding process was easy, convenient, which made for the perfect start. I had the familiar feeling of, okay, this is your home for the night. On this flight, I was seated on one of Condor's Prime seats, and there's only 4 of them on the entire plane. And even though they're part of business class, they feel set apart, mainly because they're at the bulkhead of the plane, and their format is unlike any other seat on Condor. I noticed how open everything felt. The seat is wide, the entertainment screen is huge, the storage actually made sense, and there's plenty of space to relax before the long journey. There's also an amenity kit waiting. More of what's inside later. Soft navy pajamas and slippers that are exclusive for Prime Seat passengers. Free Wi-Fi and an assortment of special snacks to enjoy at your convenience or even to take with you after the flight. All of these little details made the experience feel a little bit more personal. A note about the Prime seats. So they normally cost around $600 at the time of booking, if there's availability. I didn't feel like committing to that cost at the time, so I used my luck when I checked in for our flight at the airport. I struck gold. I was able to upgrade to the Prime seat for $220 for this 10-hour flight, and I thought that was worth it. I'd love to know if you think that's worth it. Let's get into what it's like on this Condor flight. I was ready, I was excited. While we took off, I spent a few minutes working out the remote system and the TV screen, which is a 24-inch 4K screen, unique to the Prime seat. And of course, I had to check out my favorite channel, the global map with all the flight details. I also got to check out a few other features available as well. Let's check out the amenity kit. Now, this amenity kit is an upgrade to other amenity kits offered in premium economy, but it's the same one that is in every business class seat. So from the packaging, from the inclusion, this is unique to the business cabin. In it, you'll find a standard toothbrush and paste. But then there's these special extras from Ritual Skincare, like a face moisturizer, lip balm, body mist, and a hand cream. All a very nice premium touch. One thing I love so much about a kit like this is the scents remind me of the fun memories on the flight that I had. Also, if they are unused, they make really great gifts. One of the most exciting parts of flying business is the meal at 30,000 feet. So when it was time for drink and food carts, I was very excited. The menu boasted a lot of variety of options that would work for different tastes, and I was willing to explore. But first, I was excited to try the Condor Politan, a signature cocktail on Condor, and it's their take on a classic cosmopolitan. It's got vodka, sweet lychee, refreshing lime zest, tart cranberry, and a touch of magic, freedom, and elegance. I'm not sure what that is, but I was down to find out. But I had them make it with bitter lemon, and that was delicious. Getting into the meal, I was surprised by the number of starters. I mean, this is a lot more than I was expecting, but I really wasn't worried. We were gonna get it all. And honestly, it was a 10 out of 10. Everything was delicious. I really enjoyed this part of the meal. As for the main, I chose the shrimps, broccoli, saffron rice, and tomato bell pepper jus. Now, I rarely order seafood on flights, but I was willing to see if Condor could knock it out of the park. And my verdict is no. The shrimp was not good. I mostly ate around it and left the shrimp on the plate. So I'd give it a 5 out of 10. The desserts were good, but by the time they brought them out, I was stuffed and just ready for bed. One thing I had hoped for on a flight like this, especially in the prime seat in business class, was assistance to make my seat into a bed, especially for that premium experience. And then for the customers that pay more for the prime seats, it seemed like a missed opportunity. But anyways, I was able to get it together, no problem, and settle down for about 7 hours of sleep. One of the things I really dislike about flying, especially when you're in the comfort of business or first class, is the wake up. Mainly because that means that the trip is almost coming to an end, and the wake up often feels so dramatic. The sudden cabin lights turning on, the smell of coffee and baked goods. It's all so much in such a short amount of time. But it's also a reminder that the experience is soon coming to an end, and then the next adventure is about to start. Breakfast included fresh fruit, cured meats and cheese, butter jam, honey and Nutella with a bread or roll or croissant, an omelet that had ham and cheese, and then an option of coffee, tea, espresso, and freshly squeezed orange juice. It was simple and just enough to wake up your senses. Overall, this Condor air flight from Seattle to Frankfurt was easy and comfortable. This could easily run you like $4,000, but I used points to pay for this flight. I redeemed 70,000 Atmos points. Using points is one of the most effective ways to enjoy premium cabin experiences when flying. I think it was worth it, especially when I considered the cost of the prime seat because it was heavily discounted. So altogether, my flight was 70,000 Atmos points and $220 for an 11-hour flight in Condor's business class. Do you think that's worth it? Let me know in the comments. I'm super curious what your thoughts are. Would you pay extra for this prime seat experience on Condor? Thanks for watching till the end, and don't forget to like and subscribe and follow for more travel takes and experiences.